What's up, YouTube? Brad Hoover from Rants. Alright, so the Batman hasn't even come out yet, and we're already talking about a sequel. Which, of course, I think all of us pretty much know that it's going to be a success, at least by DC standards. Let's put it that way. I think that overall is just going to be a good movie. I really do. I have high hopes for it, but Zack Snyder especially has high hopes for it. He's actually wanting Mr. Freeze to show up in a sequel, and even has a suggestion for the actor who should play it, Matthias Schoenaerts. Now, I know I just completely and totally butchered that name, so forgive me, Matthias Schoenaerts, for being terrible at spelling your name. But anyways, let's go ahead and let's read what Zack Snyder has to say about it. It says, recently, while appearing on the post-credits podcast, Snyder revealed that what villain he would like to see in a potential sequel to Reeves' The Batman. The visual director explained that he would love for Mr. Freeze to show up if the film expands into a new franchise. He even had a proposition for who could play the character, and that is Belgian actor Matthias Schoenaerts, who was among the top contenders for Bruce Wayne's role in Snyder's Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice. He said, "I did not know that, actually." He said, Mr. Freeze, we were just saying because Matthias was saying, I want to play Mr. Freeze, so yeah, that would be cool." But this actually describes some of the characters that they're already going to be that's already going to be in the Batman. So I mean, there is a lot of it, including Paul Dano is playing the main antagonist, the Riddler, whose appearance and identity are being obscured by the movie's trailers. Additionally, Colin Farrell will unrecognizably appear as the Penguin. His role in the movie is brief, although a spin-off series has been ordered at HBO Max. There's also Zoe Kravitz as Selena Kyle as Catwoman. It's going to be... I mean, you've already got 3 out of the way. You got Penguin, Catwoman, and then you've got the Riddler out of the way. So that leaves very few characters that actually really would fit with the kind of movie that Reeves is trying to make with the Batman. I personally think Mr. Freeze would be one of the worst characters that I would want to see in a Matt Reeves film. It really, simply because it's taking out the realism. And look, realism is something that I felt like, the last, when it come to Christian Bale's time as Batman, really succeeded at. You had a realistic Joker. Maybe they went a little bit too far when it come to Bane, but at least they tried to give him a realistic persona that somewhat worked. That being said, I just feel like Mr. Freeze is just way too out there. I'd much rather say, a Scarecrow. Or maybe even add, I don't know, Penguin back into the mix a little bit, since they're already giving him an HBO Max series. That would be really cool. Or just have something that deals with, Zoe Kravitz, Catwoman. Again, since they're all going to be really small roles, I could see how some of these characters could just be brought over into a sequel film. I think that would work. I really do. I don't think, or maybe even go with an obscure character. A character that, like Mad Hatter or something along those lines. Something about, a crazed guy that goes crazy and, in the realistic realm, because a guy that is basically just a snow globe that has a freeze gun probably isn't going to fit into what Matt Reeves is wanting to do when it comes to the detective aspect of of Batman in a lot of ways. least that's how I feel towards it. So I would actually kind of disagree with Zack Snyder on that. I think Zack Snyder is wanting to go a little too out there. I think he is wanting, the traditional Batman route, that we had seen basically all through the late 80s, early 90s, where the characters were just kind of out there and crazy. It wasn't really meant to be. It was meant to be experienced, but not to be taken seriously in a lot of different ways. I feel like we've kind of gone past that when it comes to superhero films now. I feel like realism matters to a lot of people. I feel like if you go way out there with a Mr. Freeze, I feel like you're really pushing a limit that really shouldn't be pushed in a lot of ways. I think we got to see a little bit of that on Gotham, where hey, it started off as a really cool series, and then they kind of got out there. They did have their own version of Mister Freeze on it. I feel like stay within the realm of possibility. Even if you wanted to make a second film that involved the Joker, have him more as a sadistic character that is similar to what they're trying to do with that Paul Dano's Riddler, except make it where he's leaving clues for Batman, but he is doing it in more of a sadistic manner than what the Riddler would do. Something along those lines. Like I think that would fit a little bit better. Even though I wouldn't be a huge fan of the Joker being in the sequel. But hey, you know what? Zack Snyder, you didn't do us wrong when it come to your Snyder cut. So you know what? You might have something going. I just feel like with this version of Batman, I just feel like it just doesn't fit. I would much rather see another film with Penguin, Catwoman, possibly the Joker, Scarecrow, any of those kind of characters. Just not something that's way out there. Even Mad Hatter. I would love to see a film with him. But just not something that is so out there like a Mr. Freeze. But anyways, guys, let me know what y'all think down below. Do you think Zack Snyder has a point? Should Mr. Freeze be in the Batman sequel? Or do you think they should make it a little bit more realistic? And have maybe a lesser known villain take that role? Or maybe just kind of rehash some of the minor villains that they've had in the Batman film. Let me know in the comments down below what y'all think. And as always, thanks for watching. Y'all take care.